Tonight's PWBA telecast is the culmination of a tournament with an exciting new format, bowling over 3 different lane conditioning patterns. A telecast where the latest in cutting-edge technology will show just how good these professionals are. A telecast where skill and talent will make the difference between winning and losing, and a telecast you won't want to miss. Welcome inside the Kegel Training Center in Sebring, Florida for the finals of the Foundation Games 2. Hi everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt. I'm so glad you're with us for the finale of a week that basically tossed tradition out the window. Beginning with the format, after the cut to the top 24, they eliminated match play. No head-to-head, no bonus pins. In other words, the players who scored the most for 42 games are the ones you'll see tonight. Secondly, the conditioning pattern is typically maintained throughout the week. This week, 3 dramatically different patterns were used. They were put down twice throughout the week. It led to some interesting ball choices. It also demanded versatility and patience. And finally, you'll see 4 finalists tonight, not the traditional 5, so we can bring you more action, plus some technology never before seen on national television. Seeds 4, 3, and 2 will bowl the opening match with an interesting twist. Number 2 will choose her pattern for that match. And then the winner will face the top seed, who will then select the pattern for the championship match. And as usual, at my side, my partner, Lisa Wagner. Lisa, you bowled this event. How drastic were those lane conditions?
Well, pretty drastic, Jan. The differences in these lane patterns took me back through the 30 years of my bowling experience. The short pattern went down just 29 feet with this much conditioner being applied to each lane. Now, to give you a little comparison, it's about the average size of a bedroom. It was 104 square feet on the lane. Tried to apply that to the whole entire floor. It gets pretty tough. The medium pattern, 38 feet with this much oil. That's what we saw in the 80s. The players had to make the transition to the long pattern, 47 feet with this much volume of conditioner going down. Now, here's an overhead look at each of the patterns, the short, medium, and the long. The blue is all of the oil put down on the lane. The dry is the tan part. Now you can see when the ball comes out of the blue, the conditioner there, what a difference it's making in each of these patterns. And that's going to determine the equipment that these players choose, depending on the pattern that these players choose. Now, every bowler has a favorite pattern. And when number 2 and number 1 choose those patterns, it's going to be very interesting to see, do they play offense and choose the pattern that they like to play on? Or do they play defense and pick the pattern that the others don't like?
It will be interesting. I'm not sure what I would do. And we promise you that technology. In order to bring it to you the best, we brought in an expert at analyzing the data. He's a gold-level certified coach, Richard Shockley. Welcome, and what can we expect to see?
Thanks, Jan. I'm very, very excited to showcase technology tonight. First, we're going to be showing you the CATS, Computer-Aided Tracking System. And this is an ability that we can show from the foul line to the head pin the true talents of these ladies. We're going to be able to see velocity, locations, entry angles, exciting information. Also, for the first time, we're going to debut our Kegel Digital Coach, which incorporates 3 camera views from unique angles. And we're also going to show this featuring Bowler's Map software. Exciting information. I can't wait to show it off.
I can't wait to show off the players. We're going to give you a sneak preview of that digital coach as we introduce the players. Qualifying on top is the rookie who won 2 weeks ago, Cara Honeychurch. In the number 2 position, making her 11th show this season, 1 away from tying the record, is Wendy Macpherson. Qualifying 3rd in her first TV appearance this year, Lisa Bishop. And just hanging on for the 4th spot in this year's only 3-time titleist, Michelle Feldman. We'll be right back with the opening match. Stay with us. Striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. And by PWBA.com, the official site for news and information about the Professional Women's Bowling Association. There's the traditional handshake, not breaking from tradition there for this match. Wendy Macpherson elected pattern number 2, the medium oil pattern. First look at Wendy, 32 years old, 14 years of pro, 18 titles.
The pattern that she has chosen is what we have seen in the 80s. So we're looking at a medium type pattern. They're not going to be using terribly strong equipment, and we will see some hook out here.
Great opening shot by Wendy Macpherson. You will see this CAT system, or score 300, throughout the match. And Lisa, the numbers we're looking at here?
Well, in the bottom left are their target areas and their speed at the 15-foot range. The top left that you will see will be at the pins.
Here's our first look at Lisa Bishop. In a hurry to get that strike off. Great opening shot for her. All the players comfortable with this medium pattern, and there's her numbers.
That's Lisa Bishop's number, 17.4 miles per hour at the 15-foot range and at the 10th board. Richard?
Yes, that's a very, very good shot. Look at that 6.1 degree of entry angle at the rear of the lane. Very, very good shot. Obviously, you saw that strike. Excellent shot.
And that angle entry, Lisa, can be created in many ways. We're going to see one of the ways right here is Michelle Feldman throws the ball, 24 years old, 7 years on tour. Matching the other two with strikes.
That's just a lot of power right there. Look at that. She's all the way into the 20th board at the arrows and 18.2 miles per hour. And this is a shot in her first frame. Look at the power through the pins.
And she creates that angle with her hand. Lisa Bishop moves right and creates it by where she starts with the ball in the lane.
That's right. And Lisa Bishop said this week that she really did like to go with more speed and stay aggressive this week.
I told you about the pattern. Here's the averages of the players. Bear in mind, Cara Honeychurch not in this match.
But Wendy did choose the medium oil, and look at, she definitely was consistent on this. She had the highest overall average of all the 4 players.
That'd be on this pattern as she comes up light, leaving a 2-pin on lane 10. Lisa Bishop actually out-averaged her the second time on that medium pattern. You will see these numbers throughout the match. And again, Lisa, those would be at the 15-foot or the arrows approximately.
That is at the 15-foot point. That's right. So let's look throughout the match and see how consistent they stay.
Wendy covers up the spare. Kind of confusion, a lot of confusion for the players also in the last minute trying to determine patterns. Qualifying in third, 29 years old, and this lady was contemplating quitting the tour prior to this week because of trying to throw the ball slower. It didn't work out for her.
Well, she said that was her B game, and as I said before, she went with more speed, more aggression, and that's her A game. That's what she's definitely most comfortable with. There's a look at her, 17.3 miles per hour. I expect to see that go up just a bit as the match goes on.
And she told us she gets pumped and starts to throw harder. 207 average, but that's on this TV pair and over all 3 conditions. Covering the spare, and Michelle Feldman will step up in the second frame with a chance to take a lead if she'd strike. Taking a little time here, Lisa. Normally, Michelle, a very quick player.
That's right. You know, I think with the 3 different patterns, they have to go back in their minds to what they did during the week. They didn't have a ton of practice on these pairs, so they've got to go back and remember what their keys were on each pattern to repeat the shots.
That was not a good shot by Michelle Feldman. A little bit left at the boards. She was at 20 on the other lane.
Richard, what do you see that is just the most impressive in Michelle Feldman?
Well, obviously, she's a powerful player. She was very impressive this week also with her accuracy.
Well, the North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center hosts the 5th stop on the PWBA Fall Swing North Myrtle Beach Classic. The tournament runs October 1st through the 5th with Pro-Ams on Sunday the 1st. For more information on the tournament and Pro-Ams, contact Earlene Strickland at 843-272-5784. There will also be a special tournament on an ABC-WIBC sport condition to benefit Susan G. Komen breast cancer on Saturday, September 30th at 4 p.m. Right now, Macpherson and Bishop are even through 2. Feldman trails by virtue of that split. Wendy getting ready to step up in the 3rd frame. And we're going to see our first look at the digital coach. It's a digitally enhanced video. Lisa, what should we look for?
Well, this is Wendy's 11th TV appearance this year. She has all the tools. One of her best assets, as we're looking at in this front view, is her tight arm swing. It allows her to repeat shots and gives her great leverage.
Yes, you know, she has a tremendous swing line that stays in line. As you can see here, Lisa, she stays in a very, very tight groove through the backswing to the release point. You know, she's always been very, very good at repeating shots. Let's bring that back and take another look. Extremely good through this area, being the bowler of the 90s. You know, that reminds me of someone in the 80s who had a very good tight swing line too, Lisa. Who was that?
I'd say that would be you, Lisa Wagner.
Well, yeah.
Bowler of the decade in the 80s, and 32 titles.
It's a lot of hard work that goes into this sport.
Wendy in the 3rd frame. Strike spare so far. Wow. A little bit of funny pinfall on that shot, leaving a 4-7.
Well, we call that a fast 8. I'm going to see the ball go through the pins. Watch this. Watch the... Oh. Wendy was not happy about that at all.
I think it was, you gotta be kidding me. How did I leave that? Now she's going to change balls. Lisa, to shoot this spare?
You're definitely changing balls and going directly at that spare.
And we will look at the digital coach for Lisa Bishop, Lisa Wagner.
That's right. Well, we've said that her most comfortable game is aggressive. Her ball speed's typically around 8.5 to 19 miles per hour. That's her A game. Now, she's experimented with a much slower B game.
Yes, you know, Lisa, she's really worked hard on that. You know, we saw her slow speed in the tournament, but then she really became aggressive. And as you can see, she loves to explode through the bottom of the swing, really generates a lot of power, and that's where she likes to throw that ball. A lot of power.
She's getting ready to step up in the 3rd frame, 218 average this week. And Lisa, part of the problem was she was losing speed at the pins.
Well, that's right. Typically, you're only looking at a difference of about 2 to 3 miles an hour from the release point to the impact at the pins, and she was losing about 5 miles per hour.
Coming up a little high. Richard, what is the typical speed for the pros, for the women pros?
Most of the lady pros are going to run around 17.5, 17.8 miles per hour off their hand.
And how about at the pins?
It's usually going to slow down anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 miles per hour, depending on the pattern. That's pretty close.
And that gives them a pretty good carry percentage.
Exactly.
Lisa also covering up the 4-7 with no problem to stay even with Macpherson. And we're all waiting for this. Let's get a look at Michelle Feldman.
Well, she is definitely our strongest power player on tour. She has the highest rev rate of anyone on tour, and she achieves it with virtually no effort. Richard, what is Michelle's rev rate?
Boy, hold on to your hats. Here it goes. She gets a handful. She gets 400 RPMs off her hand. And I'll tell you, that's about as much as most of the men on the Pro Tour. Extremely strong through here, but you know, it's very quiet and does generate a lot of power.
She is one intimidating player.
She certainly is. You know, when you get to this level, though, and we kidded with her about that last night, she's intimidated by other players, and she didn't believe that they were intimidated by her.
Hard to believe. You know, she said that she doesn't like to bowl against some players because she knows that no matter what they do, no matter what they're bowling on, they're going to hit the pocket every time. And she saw that in her last game yesterday. Well, she's definitely going to go high here once again, leaving the 3-9-10. Very difficult spare. She was definitely left on that one. 23rd board that time. The first time she was right around the 20th board.
Perfect shot on that spare conversion. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Absolutely. You kind of got to hit the ball's got to hit every pin, and that is exactly the way to do it. You know, you can get lucky sometimes by just going straight into the 3-9. Sometimes it'll knock over into the 10. Not always.
Through 3 frames, Macpherson and Bishop still even. Feldman just trailing by 10. That was a big spare for her. So far, the pattern choice working out okay for Wendy Macpherson, still in this match. 11 TV appearances, just amazing. 16 events so far this year, 11 shows. That's not what she wanted to see.
Not at all. Left the Greek church minus the 10 pin. Just going right through the heart of the pins. Ooh, ooh. It's unusual, chopping off the 6 pin.
And you never want to do that. You want to take at least 2 pins.
Which she was obviously trying for.
Exactly.
I think she's annoyed at something. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's she's not pleased with herself or what it is. But we'll have to check on that.
Lisa Bishop 7th, twice so far this year, but not her best year. Off to a good start this match. Michelle Feldman again taking a little time. And the players a little extra time here because we're trying to hold them up a bit to show you all this great technology. We want you to see how good these ladies are. And another nice shot from Michelle Feldman. Lisa Bishop is in the lead right now through 4 frames in Sebring, Florida. We're just minutes from Highlands Hammock State Park. It is located in Highlands County. The park boasts an 800-year-old oak tree, which at its trunk is 36 feet around, as well as a statue dedicated to the memory of the members of the Civilian Conservation Corps.
After dark.
The Kegel Company designs and manufactures many of bowling's most popular pieces of lane maintenance equipment. They continually strive to perfect the delicate art of applying conditioner to the bowling lane. In a time where consistency is more important than ever before, the PWBA counts on a Kegel lane machine with sanctioned technology to get the job done. Lisa Bishop getting the job done right now in the lead by 10 pins over Michelle Feldman. Wendy Macpherson trailing by virtue of that split in the 4th frame. And here's a look at Wendy Macpherson's last 2 shots on the same lane.
Wow, you can see a little difference there on those locations, can't you? 7.5 and 9.4. Wow.
A little bit of difference where it hit the pins. The 16th board and the 21st board. The angle of degree going into the pocket wasn't a ton difference, but a half a degree.
And that 21st board was dead on the nose.
Yes, it was.
Wendy now up in the 5th frame. Oh. Oh, my.
Oh.
That shot. That was a very errant shot. There you can see 33rd board. We're working with that. I'm not sure those numbers were accurate. Obviously, she missed way right on that shot. Lisa Bishop now up in the 5th frame. And doubles to take a 20-pin lead. Michelle Feldman getting ready to step up in the 5th. Trailing now by 20, can take it to 10 with a strike here in the 5th. It would be a double for her. Michelle did pretty well on this lane pattern, averaged very close to what Wendy did, but she's struggling today on it. Seems to have lined it up.
Not struggling on that shot at all. 18 and almost 18 and a half miles an hour, 21st board. That's about right where we've seen her.
It was amazing that Wendy struck on that last shot, way right off her hand. Fortunate to get the ball back. Now up in the 6th. Now, Lisa, did she move off of that shot?
She definitely had to. She's definitely trusting that. Staying at about 18 miles an hour, 7.5. on the location at 15 feet, so she has moved it.
Yeah, she was at 8 or 9, and she even has projected it farther right. Sometimes an errant shot will help you make a move on the lane.
Right, that's what she did during the week. We saw her stand, you know, a lot of times in that location during the week, mostly on the short and the medium pattern.
A bit of a balk there by Lisa Bishop. Lisa was the highest average on this medium pattern of the entire field the second time around with the 231. That off a 209 the first time around, so she made some adjustments.
Yeah, she did. Well, she only averaged 186 on the short pattern the first day, so she kind of was, you know, feeling things out just a little bit.
210, Lisa.
17.6 miles an hour, getting a little quicker. 10th board. Richard, what do you see here?
Well, she amped it up just a little bit, not too much, just got a little firm there.
And those numbers are where the ball hit the pins. 5.5 degrees going in.
The angle of entry into the pocket, and I thought she was going to convert that spare. Gave it a good run. We saw her ball speed down to 12.9 as it hit the pins. Michelle Feldman now with a chance to climb back into this match. With the strike here, she could actually take the lead. Ooh, a lot of 10 pins. Saw a lot of them. Saw it last night in position round. Kim Adler bowling against Michelle. Michelle barely making this show. Kim Adler left 10 pins like that. There's a look at Michelle's shot she just made.
Well, she definitely trusted that one. She was around 19 at 15 feet, and look how far right that shot went. Came in a little late, though, and that's why she left the pin.
Well, she came in a little bit behind that head pin, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
So a very tight match now between all three finalists. Michelle Feldman with a 3-pin lead. However, Wendy Macpherson could take the lead with a strike right here in the 7th frame. Alita Sill, our first millionaire on tour. Wendy Macpherson getting very close.
She only needs $25,005 to reach $1 million in career earnings.
What a great shot that was.
She has definitely lined it up. Moved herself right, and once they find a shot, Richard, what's the average that these professionals miss at the arrows?
Mostly at the arrows, they're not going to vary more than about a ½ inch to 1 inch at the most.
Wow. And how about your average league player, say a 160 average bowler?
Well, they could be anywhere from 6 or 7 inches in the front of the lane. Another very good shot.
Lisa Bishop back on top with a strike. Back into the match, not into the lead. 17.8 miles per hour, right around that 10th board again. As you mentioned, Richard,
right.
Staying very, very close. And that's what distinguishes the professionals from many of the amateurs, even though they can sometimes score the same if a conditioning pattern is put down that aids them.
Right. She's getting a lot of friction there at the back end now.
Well, Lisa, we saw this on the short pattern more with Michelle Feldman, but definitely not able to get it through down the lane on this pattern.
No, she definitely has to stay pretty aggressive. And with all that hand in the ball, I mean, she just revs the ball so much. With all that, she's going to have to project it down the lane.
But no player really dominating here. Still a very, very close match. Wendy Macpherson in the lead by 7 pins. As she steps up in the 8th, she can take it to 17 with one more strike. She's working on 3 in a row. Seems to have found something after that errant shot.
Right, and she picked this pattern, so, you know, she had to be sitting there thinking, boy, you know, I'm going to have to do a little better than 61 in the 4th. I picked this. I don't want to look, you know, like I'm not knowing what's going on.
Wow, there was a great shot of that ball almost into the channel.
Well, she definitely trusted this one, and we've seen her play out there, you know, a good bit of the week. Came up a little light, though, 2.8, Richard.
Sure did. A little bit wide there. Still keeping that 18 miles per hour.
And that's where it hit the pins. 16.6 at the pins on the board.
And you know the ideal position is at that 17.5 board, about 2.5 inch offset. So she's a little light. Nice shot there.
Way to cover up the spare and keep control of the match at this point. But Lisa Bishop now just trailing by 5 pins, working on a strike in the 7th. She can take the lead with a strike here. What a close match, back and forth. Oh, a weak messenger, 10 pins standing. Almost a 7-10 on that shot.
It was a great shot, though. She's once again right around the 10th board. That's about 4 to 5 shots in a row. She just hasn't missed.
Yeah, I hope some of you at home are tracking this, keeping track of how close these players are. Then go out to your lead or to your center and practice and see how close you think you are to hitting the same target at the arrows. Covers up that 10 pin to stay within 5 pins of Wendy Macpherson. Michelle Feldman also trailing by 5 pins. Was a beauty. So with 2 frames to go in match 1, Wendy Macpherson has the lead by 5 pins. Here at the Kegel Training Center, they create their own tradition, right down to how they retrieve the deadwood. Well, Bosco is chocolate, all right, and he's a chocolate lab, that is. He retrieves deadwood. One word of advice for those of you at home: don't try this at your local bowling center. They might not appreciate it. We'll be right back. We're back with 2 frames left of the Foundation Games 2 here at the Kegel Training Center in Sebring, Florida. I'm Jan Schmidt along with Lisa Wagner and Richard Shockley. Max score for Wendy Macpherson, 219. She's in the lead by 5 pins, and she's working on a spare. It's the 9th frame. There's a light mixer.
Well, that's the Wendy that we know. You know, her carry percentage is so good. And I just, you know, I think she is so talented. She's has the ability to transform her game into anything, you know, that's going to hit all these patterns.
And again at the 7.5 board, same as the last shot, repeating. Max score for Lisa Bishop, 214. Ninth frame shot. Had to set it up, and she did.
Well, 2 of the 3 players here answering the call. 11th board, 17.7 miles an hour. Richard?
Wow, what a great shot. You see how tight she is there in the front of that lane. Only within about a ½ an inch.
And she says, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle Feldman now.
Oh, she got a handful.
Leaving the 6-10. She needed to strike there. She could have taken the lead. Now it's going to be tough. That was the 9th frame needed to set it up. 21st board at the arrows. Chopping that spare.
Well, just as she's switching to a ball, it's not going to hook a whole lot, but as you can see, it just made a little left turn there, right in front of the 610. Chopped it right off. It was the most inopportune time for Michelle, the 9th frame.
Well, Wendy Macpherson in the lead. She has a strike up. She can win this match here in the 10th with 2 strikes. Disaster for Wendy. No one wanting to take control of this match in the final couple frames.
Well, she definitely missed left. Look at there.
She was at 7.5 before.
Right.
She's got an inch left.
Taking the 2. This is Wendy's first shot. Nope, she came up a little bit, I think, on that one, and definitely did miss left of her target, and that's going to cause the ball to go left. You know, we're not bowling on a ton of oil here. There's not a lot of conditioner down there on this medium pattern, so, you know, you can't make a lot of mistakes.
So she missed by 1 board, and look at the result, as opposed to many times you can miss by 5 boards and still hit the pocket.
Well, you definitely had to repeat shots this week.
Great shot.
Strike. Big strike for Lisa Bishop. So Lisa Bishop survives the opener to advance, but first when we come back, we'll visit the Kegel Training Center. Located in Sebring, Florida, right in the heart of the beautiful Sunshine State, the Kegel Training Center is the only one of its kind. Designed to make bowling more fun, more competitive, and more satisfying for bowlers of all ages and skill levels. The Training Center employs a staff of distinguished coaches who offer many years of experience in helping bowlers improve their game. The facility is equipped with the latest in cutting-edge coaching technology, including the Kegel Digital Coach, a video analysis computer that enables you and the trainers to analyze aspects of your game from all different angles, many that are commonly missed by the naked eye. The CATS, developed by the Women's International Bowling Congress and the American Bowling Congress, is also being used. It precisely measures your ball speed, revolutions, entry angle, and accuracy. The Kegel Training Center's teaching professionals specialize in helping you unlock the mysteries of bowling, from fundamental building blocks to the inside secrets of the pros. So whether you want to win more titles, more money in tournaments, or just improve as a competitive league bowler, visit the Kegel Training Center to help you accomplish your goals. Final score of match 1, Lisa Bishop 214 to Macpherson's 187 and Feldman's 182. Coming up next, the title match between Lisa Bishop and the Thunder from Down Under, Cara Honeychurch. Stay with us. Foundation Games 2 from Sebring, Florida, located in Highlands County, Florida, home of the Golf Hammock Country Club and its signature 12th hole. Beautiful course, and here's the course the players were on the last match, the medium pattern.
That's right, and right now you are looking back from the pins toward the foul line. Now look at the buildup of oil. As the higher it gets, that's the heaviest concentration of oil. That's the medium. Now Cara decided to bowl on the short pattern. Once again, going from the pins back to the foul line. Look at the difference. There's just basically not much oil out there, but she scored great on that pattern.
There's the medium again, and once again, this was exaggerated for the purpose of you at home being able to see the contours of the oil pattern. We're ready for the championship match, Lisa Bishop and Cara Honeychurch. Lisa Bishop hasn't won since last year, not that long for her, but again, as we said, it's been a tough year for her. She defeated Macpherson and Feldman 214 to 187 and 182 in that semifinal shootout match. Different equipment, Lisa.
That's right. She's going to something that's going to go a lot longer down the lane.
Certainly seemed to work on that opening shot. She also has moved quite a bit on the lane.
Well, that's right. She moved about 5 left. The first game, she was in around the second arrow, the 10th board. That was around the 15th board.
Cara Honeychurch, 28 years old. It's her first year. Yes, this is her rookie season. What a phenomenal rookie season. She already won once at the Greater Orlando Classic 2 weeks ago. She dominated that. And here's the video coach of Cara Honeychurch.
Well, she is one of our leading contenders out here on tour. She found that to compete with the best in the world, she needed more than one release.
Exactly, Lisa. She worked a lot with us down here with Lou Marquez. And here you can see she's working on her release, which is her 80 degrees of rotation. Down here, she's a lot more behind the ball. Look at that, much more in a position of 45 degrees. Did a lot of work, made a great change for this week.
Stepping up in the second frame, and if you like some of this data you're seeing, and I'll get back to that in a minute, on the short oil pattern, here's the averages. In round 1 and 4, that's when the short oil was down. Cara Honeychurch dominated. Saw a 245 the second time the short oil was down. That was the high average for that round. There's a look where Cara is playing.
As a look at her opening shot on lane 9, ball just coming in a little bit light, leaving a bucket.
Oh,
Once again, a little bit light.
many of the players commenting that spares were a little bit difficult on that short pattern. As I was mentioning, if you like this, all this technology you're seeing, please let us know. Visit our website, www.pwba.com, or email us at pwbaoffice@pwba.com. We might not be able to respond to all of you, but we'd like to hear your comments. Lisa now up in the second frame, jumping to a big early lead. She looks tough, and this was not her best pattern.
Now this is the shot that she just threw on lane 10, right around the 15th board. Once again, she's amping up that speed just a little bit. Now that was the last game, same lane. Look at there, about a 4-board shift she's in right now, and the speed a little bit lower, not a whole lot. Richard, see any difference?
She's amping it up a little more. Try her pattern.
Plus the big change in equipment.
Exactly. That ball is really getting through the front of the lane nice and clean.
Without that equipment change, she probably would have made a much larger move.
Right.
Cara Honeychurch, it was no surprise to any of us here that she chose this pattern because she was so tough on it.
And that's right. In the second round, she came out and started out with 764 her first 3 games.
Big shot by Cara Honeychurch, and there's a look from the other side of the lane.
18 miles an hour around the 11th board. So look at her last shot, going way out, trusted that. Great result.
She's projecting it left. We're looking at her target at the arrows. But see how far left she's projecting that ball.
Also notice she's getting a little off on the ball too. Very important.
Boy, is she consistent.
Yeah.
You know, her numbers, when she has come here to Kegel Training Center and worked, her numbers are so impressive.
Well, midway through the championship match, Lisa Bishop is in the lead from Kegel Training Center, where every aspect of bowling is developed. Kegel Bowling Technologies, the chemical division of the company, operates around 2 fundamental ideas: to provide customers with a chemical line that is durable to hold up against today's high-performance bowling balls, and strict quality assurance and control procedures that guarantee product consistency. We're back in the middle of the championship frame. Here at the Foundation Games 2, while we were away, Lisa Bishop spared and struck. Cara Honeychurch now up in the 5th frame, trailing by 33 pins, and that's going to make it more.
Boy, we've seen that a lot so far in this show. The ball goes a little bit high, and there's just not very much pin action. Richard?
Yes, I'll tell you, that was a little inside of target, I believe, for her. Very unusual.
Taking 1 pin, important to get as much wood as possible. She is changing balls.
Yes,
Like
she
a ball
is.
change, yes.
Obviously not working out the way she anticipated when she selected this pattern. And Lisa, they're not going to see much change in the pattern like they normally would on a TV show.
Oh, that's right. This is a new pattern, so there's not too much play on it. Usually we have a lot more play on the lanes, and that, you know, the players will experience carry down. And they're just not going to see that carry down. Plus, there's just not a lot of oil out there to carry down.
Absolutely, the lanes were reconditioned in between matches, stripped completely, reconditioned with this short oil pattern.
And they only had 10 shots apiece.
Changing balls for her spare shot. Lisa Bishop in the lead now by 46 pins, can take it to 56 with a strike here, and if she continues striking, max score of 279. Lisa Bishop with a commanding lead here in Sebring in Highlands County, Florida, where you'll also find the city of Lake Placid. One visit and you'll see why it's often called the town of murals, as you'll find one at every turn painted by various artists on the sides of many of its buildings.
What does WIBC mean to bowling? To 1.4
Classic.
We're back. There's 2.5 frames left. Lisa Bishop is working on 3 strikes in a row. She threw 1 more strike while we were away and now leads by 66 pins. Make it 64 with that 8 count. She is definitely in charge, and unfortunate for Cara, she selected this lane conditioning pattern.
Well, she might be wondering why right now. But, you know, she did the right thing, in my opinion. She averaged the highest on that, and Lisa Bishop did struggle early on that. So she made the right choice.
Covers that spare, and if you're enjoying this, be sure to join us next week at the same time as we head north to Junction Lanes in Noonan, Georgia for the championship round finals of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Lisa and I will bring you all the action Monday, October 2nd at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday, October 5th at 1 p.m. And the 2 ladies in this match will both be defending champions. I'll explain it in a minute. Lisa Bishop in the lead by 64 pins in the 8th frame. Stepping up in the 9th. Pretty much seals the fate, and Lisa Bishop won in Noonan, Georgia last year, so technically she is the defending champion at Junction Lanes. Cara Honeychurch won the Brunswick Women's World Open. That moved from Chicago to Atlanta, so both defending champions.
And both getting ready for next week.
In a big way, Cara Honeychurch, not much she can do here. Best she could shoot would be 193.
No, but we saw her strike like that all week. And, you know, there's a few reasons. And, Richard, what are the reasons that these women just, they seem to strike a lot and they can figure anything out?
That's the great thing about these professional ladies. You know, the 4 things that we were hoping that they would showcase tonight, Lisa's done that. She's shown us versatility, repeatability, accuracy, and some power mixed in with that. A great combination. She's going to be a great champion tonight.
Cara Honeychurch trying to finish it out and get that respectable score.
Well, it's always tough when you come on and you've led a good portion of the week and you've got a little bit of time to pick the pattern, and you know, it's put up or shut up in that point. You only get 10 shots to do it, so it's kind of a, you know, as our player said, when the TV show comes around, it's a brand new tournament.
Well, she's lined up now. Apparently a good change in equipment.
Well, Cara Honeychurch finishing 2nd this week. Going into next week where Brunswick World Open, so she has to have a lot of confidence for that.
Finish it out with 4 in a row for a score of 193. Lisa Bishop already at 197 in the 8th frame with a strike up in the 9th. It's her 4th career PWBA title. Lisa Bishop is the champion of the Foundation Games 2. We'll be back with Kegel's version of the Olympic medal ceremonies. Don't go away.
From Pinboy.
2 are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. and by PWBA.com, the official site for news and information about the Professional Women's Bowling Association. Lisa Bishop is the champion of the foundation, gains 2, final score 257 to 193. There is the beautiful trophy around the world. And President of Kegel, John Davis, is coming in to present the medals. Third place to Wendy Macpherson. And second place to Cara Honeychurch in her rookie season, one victory already. And the most precious medal of all, that championship medal, to Lisa Bishop. And medals are great, but we all want the money. Richard Shockley, head teaching professional at Kegel, is in with an $11,000 check. Join us again next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the finals of the Brunswick Women's World Open from its new venue, Junction Lanes in Noonan, Georgia. For Lisa Wagner and Richard Shockley, I'm Jan Schmidt. We hope you gained some new insight into bowling and a renewed appreciation for the talent of these athletes. Thanks for taking part in this special event. We'll see you next week. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.